Hi children, welcome all of you to our fifth unit biodiversity. How fast we completed the human relations, no? So beautiful lessons and a wonderful poem we heard and we discussed in the previous unit, and now the fifth unit is biodiversity. Children, we are completing video after video. What is most important you have to do is textbook reading. See, whenever you feel free, in order to get ready for the board exam, what you have to do now from now onwards, don't worry, the school is not running or we are not going, all these things. You watch the video and you read the text. Once again, you have a doubt, read the text and watch the video so that you can better understand. Isn't it? Simply once you watch the video, I didn't understand means nothing. Once after the video is released, it is a 15-minute or 16-minute or 18-minute video maximum. What you have to do? You need to read the text because we are covering the gist of the lesson. Every line, every part can't be explained in one video, no. Isn't it? So 2 videos, 3 videos, 4 videos may not be sufficient sometimes. So what you need to do? You have to read the text. That is most important. And that too, this unit biodiversity, biological diversity. Simply we can say biological diversity. So you can see the trigger sheet. How beautiful the first picture is and how nasty the second picture is. What sir, you are saying opposite? You know, no. You see first one? So generally 2 questions are there. What do you see in the first picture? Do you like it? If not, why? I think no one in the world likes the first picture because you know the reason. And second one, do you feel good about the second picture which is different from the first? Give reasons. So what is the reasons? First one, you can see the biodiversity is totally affected. I think all of you know what is biodiversity. Variety of plants, animals, all the living creatures living together. That is called biodiversity. What else? So biodiversity is affected in the first picture, whereas biodiversity is enriched in the second picture. That's it, the reason. And in this unit, we have, as usual, 3. As I told you earlier, only A and B are meant for explanation and classroom teaching. The C, A Tale of 3 Villages, you have to read. It's optional. It won't come under exam point of view. But interesting to read. Okay. So the very first segment A is environment. Already in 9th standard, if you remember, we discussed environment. There was a special unit. I think all of you know. Chief Seattle's speech, the river poem, you know, I think you remember. You remember all of it, I think. Isn't it? So the same environment once again here in the form of biodiversity. And there the unit name has become here segment A, reading environment. Sir, what is this lesson is about? What is this lesson about? I'm sorry. It is not a lesson. It is an interview. See, again we'll go to 9th standard. Last year you had an interview with VVS. I think all of you remember. Very, very special. Who is that cricketer? I think you know, Lakshman. And now here is an interview with an environmental activist, the first African woman Nobel Prize winner. And she is from Kenya. Kenya is an African country. Nairobi, I think, capital, if I'm not wrong. Or Abuja. You have to look to that lesson. And she is none other than Wangari Maathai. Her name is pronounced in different ways. Some people say Wangari Maathai. Or we'll say somewhat stylish Wangari Maathai. Okay, Wangari Maathai otherwise. But it's an African, typical African name, no. And she was the woman who started the Green Belt movement. Green Belt movement was started by her. And she fought for equal rights for women in Africa. All of you know the dark continent, that is a name for Africa, where women rights Of course, India also these days it's good. They were down, completely submerged. And this woman who won the Nobel Prize for the Green Belt movement, she fought for the rights of the women. And this was the interview made by NHK, Nippon Hoso Kyukai. That is the name of the radio from Japan. I think all of you know about our AIR. I think you can expand AIR, all of you. This is All India Radio, the news headlines. I think you heard anytime. AIR means All India Radio. And Japanese radio is NHK, Nippon Hoso Kyukai. So in 2004, December 19, this NHK radio people interviewed this great woman. And this is not the complete interview, it is only the excerpts. Excerpts means the main bullet points, what you say, like the main gist or the main points were taken and they are given to us. Actually, the answers are very big. Generally, no, in the interview, questions are short, answers will be big. NHK radio people asked 8 questions and she gave 8 answers. Sir, why is this big, this much interview, you may think. But if you read, what is the gist of the interview, you know? Protect the environment. That is most important point. Of all these 8 questions, the main points are a few. If you know these main points, you are good at this interview with Wangri Mathai. See, starting the interview, first I am going to the last question. Sir, can anyone start like that? No, this question interests you. That's why I am telling you. NHK radio people asked, Madam, okay, you fought for African women, everything good. Please tell us what is the one thing we can do. See, instead of telling this in the concluding part of the video, I am telling in the beginning. Children, all of you, please listen. What is the one thing we can do? Here we means don't think NHK radio. All of us, the people of the globe, not African, not American, everybody, Indian, all the people of the globe I am telling you. When NHK radio people asked her what is the one thing we can do, she gave a beautiful answer. With that I am starting the interview. Actually it is a concluding part. She told like this. For me, my greatest activity is to plant a tree. I think that a tree is a wonderful symbol for the environment. And when we plant a tree, we plant hope. Children, once again, when we plant a tree, we plant hope. We plant the future for ourselves, for our children, for the birds. And we plant something that will last long after we are gone. How beautiful words you see. If you plant something, you will go away. But that small seedling transforming into sapling, into a plant, into a tree, mighty tree, it will remain forever as your memory. So we are gone, but the trees are not gone. That's why you plant something, you are planting a hope for better tomorrow. How beautiful you see. You listen on every word. Don't feel bored. Isn't it? Today you know this green belt movement started by everybody in our country also. Our heroes are doing now. The great, your favorite, most of your favorite, Saho Prabhas Bahubali. He adopted one forest in Telangana, I think you know. How great it is. And when people watched that Mahesh movie, what is that movie? I am not getting. Heroes started adopting the villages. Mahesh Babu adopted one village. Megastar Chiranjeevi adopted one village. Prakash Raj adopted village. So this is how the change has come. So when we watch movie, we'll just forget and come out. So something has to be done from our side. What is that? Just to plant something, you are planting a hope. You are planting for better tomorrow. That's it, Nana. The lesson is all about that. Really, I'm telling you. This last question, if you answer, you understand the whole lesson you understood. Of course, what she did to the African women, that is most important. And why this interest came for her, do you know? For the very first time in 1975, she attended a conference in Mexico. It is a conference for women in Mexico City. There, what happened, 1975 only, all the delegates who attended the conference from various countries, they started shouting, we need food, we need water, we need clean drinking water, we need fodder for our animals. See, sir, that time she was grown up, Wangari Maathai. When she was a child, the environment was pristine, beautiful, fresh, pure. Even in Africa, trees were there. Now Africa is almost, rough, dry land it became because of the tropic region. But the Britishers, they not only invaded India, they invaded every part of the world. They went there and they took some exotic species of plants and there they planted. Exotic means unusual, like the pine trees, some eucalyptus, like that, what they did. Actually, they were not from Africa. They took from their countries, from Australia and from Europe, other parts. They took and there they planted. What happened? These foreign trees, they started growing and they disturbed the local flora and fauna. They grow very tall. What happened? The trees, small trees and all the local trees, what happened? No? They died. Naturally, earlier the forests were like water towers in the Africa when madam was small child. Before, I'm sorry, extremely sorry. Before attending the conference. But now what happened when she was a child? It was superb. The forests were water towers. Now what happened, Anna? These stars became completely parched or dried up because of these trees, eucalyptus and all, which were brought from European countries. And the local fauna disappeared, local flora obviously disappeared. So that's why this conference was held. They started shouting. She didn't understand why we are shouting for these things. When I was a child, I never did like this. Why? Very simple. Environment had changed. That's why she started the campaign to restore the vegetation and to restore the land and to rehabilitate the forests. Rehabilitate. When there are natural disasters, what is the next step after the disaster is rehabilitation, bringing back to the originality. Of course, it takes some years sometimes. We can't expect that it will happen immediately. That's what she did. So here, for one question, she gave a beautiful answer. Madam, how is peace connected to a good environment? In African countries, the biggest problem is peace. Internal wars. All of you know, communal wars, internal wars, oh my God, number of wars inside the country only. So she developed one concept called African stool. I think all of you know stool and table we have in our houses, no. So she said, imagine the stool has 3 legs. First, one leg should be peace. Second leg should be good governance. Third leg should be sustainable management of resources. When all these 3 legs are balanced, on the 3 legs we keep one seat called development. See, sir, how beautifully she explained. Once again, you listen, easily you can understand. Seat is development. 3 legs are there for the stool. What is the first leg? Peace. First of all, peace should be there in the country. Second one, good governance. Governance means what? People should be protected. Their rights should be protected. Forests should be protected. Environment should be protected. That is called good governance. And the third one is sustainable management of resources. Sustainability means you have to maintain whatever the resources we have, we need to maintain them. If you don't maintain the continuity of the resources, what will happen? Resources will not be used in a proper way. When the resources are not used in a sustainable manner, you can't expect development. So, on these three legs, when you put the base in, that becomes the development. And if we try to balance that stool without these three, it won't happen. Whoever sits on the top, they will fall. So here comes equitable distribution of the resources. Most important. See, there is a small difference between equal and equitable. Equal means just giving. You take this, you take that. Like in Bahubali movie, I think all of you know, when the Kalakeya is about to conquer Mahishmati, the weapons are divided, between Bahu and Ballala Deva. That is equal distribution, but not equitable. Equitable means rightful share. Rightful. Ballala Deva was given with a wonderful that weapon, and this fellow was given only, Bahu was given only big cloth, that's all. How can you say that is equitable? There that people also they will question. I think if you remember the movie, first part, for make you better understand, I am giving you this example. Equal and equitable. Equal means 10 are there, 5 giving equal. But in that, imagine out of 10, only 6 are very good, 4 are not good. You give all the 5 good to somebody and only 1 and 4 to somebody, means that is not equitable distribution. You have to distribute in a proper way, rightful way. So that should be done, she is saying. If equitable distribution of resources done, then you can expect these three legs of the concept of a African stool. I think, hope you understood. Somewhat boring, no? Or serious? No, not at all, I think. Okay, let me conclude this. You watch till this level. In my next video, I'll conclude. We can't conclude in one video. Okay, so please rewatch the video and I'll conclude in the next video very simply so that you can understand. But better you read none after watching the video. You will better understand whatever I explained. Okay, see you again in my next video. Catch me up. Bye.